राधे श्याम की जय, श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे।
So welcome everyone to today very auspicious day, Radhastami. I would like to bring you a little bit to Varsana Dham, to Vrindavan Dham, and I will sing a very simple song. Ik kor kripa ki kar do, लाडली श्री राधे, दासी की झोली भर दो, लाडली श्री राधे. Anybody can play, maybe the harmonium? It's a very simple tune. And these are songs which are sung today if you go to Varsana, the place where Srimati Radharani lived. And you'll find many groups of Kirtaniya sitting there in the palace of Srimati Radharani. And they sing all kinds of bhavak, emotional songs. And this song means, Ek kor kripa ki kar do, please shower a little bit of mercy upon me. Ladali Shri Radhe. There is a name in Vrindavan, actually in Barsana, that they call Srimati Radharani not as Radharani. They call her as Ladali, most beloved. Most beloved. Actually the palace in Barsana is called the Ladali Laliju Palace, right? It is not Radharani Palace. It is very affectionate. So, Dasi ki jholi bhar do, Ladali Shri Radhe. We are all maid servants of Srimati Radharani in our life. So we come with our begging bowl, begging for some mercy. Dasi ki jholi bhar do, Ladali Shri Radhe. And we let us sing. This song is very easy. The repetition will be again. Ika kor kripa ki kar do, Ladali Shri Radhe. And if you can sing the repetition as I try to. There is no name because it's a folk song. And you can try to find it, it's not there on the net. There also cannot be any projection here. Ek kor kripa ki kar do, ek kor kripa ki kar do, Ladali Shri Radhe. Ek kor kripa ki kar do, Ladali Shri Radhe. Dasi ki झोली भर दो, लाडली श्री राधे. दासी की झोली भर दो, लाडली श्री राधे. एक कौर कृपा की कर दो, लाडली श्री राधे. एक कौर कृपा की कर दो, लाडली श्री राधे. दासी की झोली भर दो, लाडली श्री राधे.
Hare
This is what it sounds if you go to Barsana today, the hill of Barsana. Everywhere Radhe, Radhe. Thousands and thousands of pilgrimage people today walking around that beautiful hill of Barsana. Everyone is begging for Srimati Radharani's mercy. But today, we want to hear what is there actually in Srimati Radharani. From outside, you can dress like a gopi. You can put up nice tilak and makeup. But does that make you into a gopi? Does that make you into, right? So let us see what is actually inside. It's okay? There is a beautiful song by the Acharyas who have claimed greatness of Srimati Radharani. It goes like this. I think you might know the song. It is describing the inner power of Jadi gauro na hoito tabe ki hoito kemane dhari tamde radharo mohima premara sosima jagate jana toke jadi gauro na You can be ready. Jadi gaur na hoito, tabe ki hoito, kemane thari kamde. The acharyas have said that if Gaura would not have taken descent avatar on this planet, what would be the state of affairs on this planet Earth? Radharo Mohima, Premira Sosima. The greatness and the glory of Srimati Radharani, nobody would have known it. Nobody would have known the topmost limit of prema. Radharo Mohima Premira Sosima Jagate Jana Toke. Who in this world would have known that? Only because Gaura came, we can understand what Radha means. So let us see how the Acharyas have presented this. Radhastami says in this way. इस प्रकार पूर्वे कृष्ण रसों का सदन यद्यपि करे है रास सारों का चरण तथापि नहीं लोतीन वंचिता पुराण ताह आस्वाद Beautiful. Radhastami says, even though Lord Krishna, the abode of all mellows, had previously chewn, had eaten all the essence of rasa mellows. What is rasa? Rasa can also mean fruit juice, can mean drink, but in this meaning it is the taste of a relationship. We make relationships in this world because we feel some happiness, some joy. That is called the rasa. And Sri Krishna is the enjoyer of the topmost rasas. Right? What happened here, though he tasted all the mellows of love, still he was unable to fulfill three desires. Three desires. Tathapi nahilo tina vanchita puran. He had still 3 desires which he could not fulfill. So he's Raseshwar, he's the Lord of all tastes and mellows, but still he remained incomplete. There were 3 desires, and although he made an effort to taste them, he was not able to fulfill his desires. So what Krishna did, he looked carefully. It is like a clear mirror. And he tried to see what is there. And when he saw his reflection, then something happened there. Purnanandamay hume chinmaya purta tattva radhika prema mohe karaye unmata. He says, I am the full spiritual truth. My existence is full of ananda. Krishna is Purna Ananda, complete bliss. And yet, the love of Srimati Radharani drives me mad, Unmatta. What is this secret? What is there in Radharani? And he looked in this mirror again, he glanced at the glance, and Na jane Radhika prema dhare kitna bal Waha bala humko kare sarvada vihwar. Actually, the original language is Bengali. I've adjusted a little bit with Hindi, so it becomes more, for those who know the language, understandable. Right? There's some grammar I changed a little bit. Radhika, same, right? So, Krishna said, I do not know the strength of Radha's love, and what that strength is, by which he always overwhelms me. Radhika ka prema guru मैं शिष्य नरताक सदा हमें नाना नृत्यों में नाचाए नूतन. Radharani's love is my guru. Amazing, huh? Radharani is the guru of Krishna. He has to worship her and give Guru Dakshina also. Guru Dakshina is a gift you have to give when you complete your study. Radhika ka prema guru says that Krishna learns from the love of Srimati Radharani. Somebody asked me yesterday, in the morning class, what is the greatness of Srimati Radharani? Why do we worship Srimati Radharani? Here's the answer. Radharani's love is the guru of Krishna. Right? He says, Radhika's prem is my guru. I am her dancing student. Her prem makes me dance various noble dances. Right? So Radharani's love is so amazing that she can even make the absolute truth dance. Nija prema aswade moro haiya je alad taha hoite koti gana radha prema swad. Wow. Really Radharani stuff. Here is there, you know? We don't have it in Krishna Dharmash with us. So we see here, we are really worshippers of Radharani because during Dharmash we didn't get a big cake. So he says here, whatever pleasure I get from tasting my love for Srimati Radharani, she tastes 10 million times more love than I taste. How's that? Krishna is wondering. Radha prema vibhu hai jisse badne ka nahi sthan tatapi se kshane kshane badte jaye sada sada. I think one is for Srimati Radharani, one is for Krishna. Very good. Very good. Oh, that's it. I see. So Radha's love is all pervading, leaving no room for expansion, but still it expands constantly. So in this world we cannot accommodate two contradicting statements, but in a spiritual world, Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate. 1 plus 1 equals 1. 1 minus 1 equals 1. So you can eat as much cake as you like and still it remains 1. In a spiritual world. But Radharani gives a Mahaprasad, a laddu. Take.
Still 1.
Then the person takes it and sells that. You take. It's Akshay Patra. That's like that. जहाँ वसी गुरु वस्तु नाही सुनिश्चित तथापि गुरुत्व लक्षण गौरव वर्जित. There is certainly nothing greater than her love, but her love is devoid of any kind of pride. She has all right to be proud, Srimati Radharani, because she's the best, and yet she has no pride. That's amazing about her. That is the sign of her greatness. Krishna is paying obeisances to Srimati Radharani's love. Kabhu jadi e prema raho main ashray, kabhi e premanand anubhava. Just if Kabhu jadi e premar how main ashray, if sometime I could be the abode of that love, only then may I taste its joy. So Krishna is hankering for Srimati Radharani's place, right? See? He saw in his heart, if I can just, ashraya means what who shelters that love. In the science of rasa, called Rasa Shastra, which we don't discuss much, but Krishna has many qualities. And by looking at his qualities like his flute, his ankle bells, his peacock feather, his dress, it awakens, inflames the heart with all kinds of loving desires. But that can only happen if there is already love in the heart. Two have to be there: the object, the vishaya, and the shelter, the ashraya in the heart. And Krishna now is analyzing Srimati Radharani's heart. He wants to understand what is in there, that she feels millions of times more love than I feel for her. How is this? He's trying to carefully understand what is that mystery. How is it that she feels 10 million times more of love? Eta chinti Radha Krishna parama kautuki. Eta chinti rahe Krishna parama kautuki. Hriday badhaye prema lobha thak thaki. Thinking in this way, Lord Krishna was curious to taste that love. His eager desire for that love increasingly blazed his heart. So Radharani is able to put Krishna's heart in flame. Right? He's putting everyone in flame by blowing his flute, by his dancing, but Srimati Radharani can put Krishna in flames. Ei eka suni ara lobhara prakar, swamadhurya dekhi Krishna kare na vichar. Kaviraj Goswami says, this is the first desire, which I described. There are three of them, right? So this is the first desire. Now please hear of another desire. Seeing his own beauty, Lord Krishna began to consider. Kaviraj Goswami mentions this is the second desire. Why Krishna desired to have the position of Srimati Radharani. You have to understand here that the supreme object of love is praising that person who has that love. So it is like the king is paying obeisances to somebody else. Right? He's the topmost. But still, he is praising that amazing love of Srimati Radharani. Adbhuto anantapurna mora madhuri matri jagate ihar keha nahi payasima. My sweetness is wonderful, infinite and complete. No one in the three worlds can find its limit. This is Krishna. E prema dvare nitya radhika ekari, amara madhuryamrita aswade sakari. Only Radhika, by the strength of her love, tastes all the nectar of my sweetness. Krishna is an unlimited ocean, and there is no room for expansion. And still Srimati Radharani can make him expand. Right? That is the mystical love of Srimati Radharani. Yadyapi nirmala radhara satta prema darpan, tatapi swachatta tara padhe ksanakshan. Although Radhika's love is pure like a mirror, it's purely increases at every moment. Amara madhurya nahi badite avkashe, दर्पणेर आगे नवा नवा रूपे भासे. My sweetness also has no room for expansion, yet it shines before that mirror in newer and newer beauty. So Srimati Radharani forces Krishna to expand his love. Man madhurya radhar prema dono hodkare kshane kshane badhe dono kehanahi hare. This is competition between a devotee and his Lord. There is constant competition between my sweetness and a mirror of Radha's love. There's a competition, hold. They both go increasing, but neither knows defeat. So that's the competition between Sri Radha's love and Krishna's tasting and relishing the sweetness. Amara madhurya nitya nava nava hoiya swaswa prema anurupa bhakta aswadaya. My sweetness is always newer and newer. Devotees taste it according to their own respective love. Darpanya de dekhi jati apana madhuri aswadite hoya lobha aswadite nari. If I see my sweetness in a mirror, I am tempted to taste it. Krishna is so sweet that he himself is running after his own sweetness. But nevertheless, I am not able to relish that sweetness. He himself is an impossible person. Vichara karaya jati aswada upay Radhika swarupa hoite tabe monodhai. Vichara karaya jati. If I consider, how can I taste my own sweetness? First of all, he wanted to know the intenseness of sweetness, what Radharani experienced. But then he thought, okay, intenseness is one, but the different types of taste, I also want to taste that. As Srimati Radharani tastes. So if I deliberate on a way to taste it, I find that I hanker for the position of Radhika. This is Krishna, right? Etaditya hetur kahilo vivaran Tritya hetur ebe sunahalakshan. Gauradesh says, this is the description of the second reason. So, now please listen as I describe the third reason. Why Krishna was so amazed with Srimati Radharani. First reason, you now know, okay? The intenseness of the bliss Srimati Radharani experience. It's 10 million times more. That Krishna becomes disciple of the love of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani becomes his guru. The second one is, when he looks at Srimati Radharani's heart, she's not just tasting one taste. She tastes unlimited varieties of Krishna. And that also Krishna wanted to taste. So that's the second reason why Krishna desired to have the position of Srimati Radharani. So there's the third last reason. Okay? Class is not so long today, but I'll mention the third reason. Lord Krishna, he has promised in the Gita. He has made a promise that he will reciprocate with all his devotees according to the way they worship him. Anybody knows the verse? Very good, very good. You're all Ved Rasikas. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sajaiva bhajamyam mama vartman vartante manushya partha sarvasha. Krishna says there, of love and worship, one offers to me, same way I will reciprocate. Right? And that's great for a man to say, I will do as much as you give me. Right? But here, Krishna doesn't know the opponents. What kind of opponents he has to face. He has made this promise that I will reward you according to your worship. Everyone is following my path. Both the Gopas, the Gopis, the devotees in Köln, they all follow my path. Right? And I award them accordingly. But what happened here? The Gopis, they worship Krishna in a very special way. And they have declared it in the beautiful song called Gopi Gita. Pati Sutanvaya Bhratribandhavan Ati Vilangyate Achyutagata Sutanvayat Bhratri Bandhavan Ati Vilankhe Achyutagata. During the time of Dwapar Yuga, when people were still following some rules and regulations, not like nowadays, then there was something called a chokhat. A chokhat means that the door is made out of 4 lattices in order to close it and open it. Nowadays, if you look at the door, there are only 3, up, down, like that. But the chokhat means there is also a horizontal one. And during the time of the gopis, if a married woman crosses that last piece of wood, chokhat, without the permission of the husband, she can stay outside forever and never return. That strict people were, unchastity. So the gopis are saying, Pati Sutan Mayat Bhratriban Bhavan Ati Vilangyate Anchuta Gata. We gave up our husbands. We gave up our children. We gave up our Anvaya, our followers and well-wishers, our brothers, Bhratri, Bandhavan, our relatives. Ati Vilankyate. Lankhya means to step over. Step over the limits of what a lady was allowed to do during the time in birth. Why? Te Antya Achyuta Gada. At the end, they wanted to go to Achyuta Krishna. So, there's a great secret here. Srila Prabhupada mentions that what the gopis were actually doing, when they were being stopped to go to Krishna, they made a Maya form, just like Sita Mata. When she was kidnapped by Ravan, Lord Ramachandra told Sita, listen, there is a time now in which we have to make some Naralila, some human kind of pastime. Ravan will come and kidnap you. But if he tries to touch you, he will be burned to ashes because of your amazing chastity. So please create a Maya form. And for that time, you stay with Agni Dev. And Ravan will have that form. So similarly, the gopis, they manifested a Maya Gopi form. And the Atma of the gopis went to Krishna. And their Maya form will remain with their husbands. Just like nowadays. Right? People get married with Maya forms, isn't it? Prabhu, form of the gopis, they this vairagya, this indifference to all family members. And they went, Pati Sutan Vaya Bhratri Bandhavan Ati Vilangyate Achyuta Gata. So now Krishna has to respond to this. Right? He says, So Krishna, can you give up Yashoda Mai? Can you give up Nanda Baba? Can you give up your cowherd boys? Is he able? Is he able? Is it possible? No, it's not possible. The gopis showed so much love that Krishna accepted defeat. How can I give up Mother Yashoda? How can I give up Nanda Maharaj? They are my Bhratri, Bandhavan, mother, father. How can I give up Balaram? So he accepted defeat. The gopis did something Krishna could not reply to, could not answer. Amazing. This is gopis' love. It was impossible for Krishna to repay the gopis, and he accepted. Na pariham swasadhu prityam. I cannot repay you. Please be happy. Be satisfied with your own love. I cannot give up my devotees. See? You give up everyone just to attain me. But I cannot give up my devotees. So, I'm not able to compensate your love for me. And thus, Krishna remained indebted to the gopis. But this is the third reason Gauradesh says. But Krishna is very clever. He thought of a method how to repay these gopis. And I will not tell it now, I will tell it later. So, Se gopi gana madhye uttama radhika Rupe gune saubhagye preme sarvadhika. Among the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the foremost. She surpasses all in beauty, in good qualities, in good fortune, and above all, in love. Radhika saha krida rasa vivridha karan Arasaba Gopi Gana Rasopakara. All the other gopis help increase the joy of Krishna, his pastimes with Radharani. And the gopis, they act as the instrument of their mutual enjoyment. Krishna Vallabha Radha Krishna Pranadhan Taha Binu Sukha Hetu Nahe Gopi Gan. Krishna Vallabha Radha. Vallabha means the most beloved. Radha is the most beloved consort of Krishna, and she is Krishna's Pranadhan. Prana is life force. If you look for Krishna's Prana, you find it is personified as Sri Radha. Without him, there is no Krishna avatar. Nahi roto Krishna avatar, jape ja Radhe Radhe. Vrindavan dham apar, jape ja Radhe Radhe. These are famous Braj songs. If you don't want to dive into Braj Ras, in that line it says, Krishna would be crying without Srimati Radharani. There would be no Krishna avatar if Radharani would not come. And it's true. Disciples should go, only there where Guru goes, isn't it? And we have learned now, Srimati Radharani was the Guru of Krishna. So Radha is the beloved consort of Krishna, and she is the wealth of his life. Without her, the gopis cannot give Krishna any pleasure. So, how did Krishna attempt to repay the gopis? What's surprising? He's clever, no? First he says, I cannot repay you, be happy with your perfection. Then he thought, what I can do is glorify their love. I will explain to the world what Gopi Prema is. Namo Mahavidanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradvishe Namaha. Does it down to you what this sloka now means? What did Chaitanya come to give? He came to give the heart of Srimati Radharani. And therefore, he wanted to, in this way, repay the gopis. Jadi gauro na hoito, tabi ki hoito, kemone dhori tamde. Radharo mohima, premora sosima, jagate jana toke. This song I sang before the class, and now sing it again. Do you feel any difference? Is there any difference now? Now you understand what the song actually means. Jadi gauro na huito, tabe ki hoito, kemane dhari tamde. Radharo mohima, premora sosima, jagate jana toke. Radharo mohima, premora sosima, jagate jana toke. This is what Mahaprabhu came to give. He could not repay the gopis, so he came to glorify their love. That is the heart of Srimati Radharani. Okay, I think I'll end here. If there's any questions? Did you like the class?
Yes.
Are you thrilled with the heart of Srimati Radharani?
Yes.
Right? That is our Radha. Yes?
Can you explain what is the difference between gopis, manjaris, and sakhis?
The difference between gopis, manjaris, and sakhis. Very nice question. They all belong to the same group, the cowherd girls of Braj, but they differ in age. If the age is between 12 to 14, maximum 14, then you call it a gopi. And the sakhis have the same age. If it's between 8 and 12, then you call it a manjari. And they like to serve the sakhis. And if it is younger than 8, you call it kinkari. The little gopikas, holds ready, folding their hands. Kinkari, what can I do for you? Therefore, you are called kinkaris. So you can decide what you want to be, a kinkari or a manjari or a gopi or a sakhi. And sakhis, see, every group has a certain pride. Pride. Trotz. German, right? Oh, Stolz. Okay. Anyways, I'm making a fool of myself because I Dutch with a German accent, but they understand me, you know. So, and it's stolz. Okay. So, because the Sakhis think our group is the best, we are closest to Srimati Radharani. But the Manjaris say, where the Sakhis cannot go, we can go. Right? Sometimes Radha and Krishna are alone, no Sakhis are allowed there. But the Manjaris go serving them. But then the Kinkaris have their own pride. You know, these Sakhis and these Manjaris, they cannot sit in the lap of Srimati Radharani and like swing their legs. Because Kinkaris are very small. So they can sometimes have the form of a little kid, and they can sit in the lap. So then we are the best. All of them have their own pride. And yes, all of them are the best. In Golok, there is no vertical hierarchy of better, best. It's all horizontal. All are the best. That's spiritual world. Okay? There was another question. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu for this very nice lecture. Prabhuji, what I understood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna came again.
Yeah, you can speak.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So my question is, did Bhagavan Sri Krishna came in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to glorify Radharani, or it is the combination of Srimati Radharani and Krishna together to glorify the love?
Okay, it's a good question, but I answered one aspect here of this. The giving of the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Krishna is doing. But the inner reason why he is doing it, that is Radharani. There's an external activity and there is an inner reason. Because it's Radhastami, I expose the inner reason, right? For that, that's the reason. He wanted to repay Srimati Radharani's love. But there is more to that, right? If he gives the holy name, he's giving Krishna Prema. What is Krishna Prema? People don't even know what's Krishna Prema. And who has all that Prema? Srimati Radharani has Krishna Prema. So he came to give what Srimati Radharani had. And not even that, Mahavidanyaya. He broke open the treasure house of love, right? These are things which you have to keep very secretly kept in your safe. You know, this you have this safe with a big wall, iron wall, and there is a number lock, you know, and there is a key also. I've seen, yes, that in some banks they have a big safe and nobody can open it alone. You need two people. And you have to spin the thing directly, otherwise it doesn't open. So much they keep money safekeeping. But this treasure is even more valuable. It will give you eternal life in Golok. And yet, Mahaprabhu came, Mahavidanya, broke open the treasure house to give us all that. We don't even know what we're getting. We're taking it. We don't even know the value of this. See? And therefore, we have to try to understand a little bit from the angle of Srimati Radharani's heart. And then we can understand that Krishna is a disciple of Srimati Radharani's love. So there is an external reason, and there is also the internal reason. And today is an internal day, so therefore I expose the internal reasons. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes?
Should the love always be from both sides?
One of the criteria of love, it should be always from both sides. Can love be from one side love or not?
Good question. In this material world, you give a lot of love, especially to your kids. And these kids, yes, they like your love, but then they slide out of your lap and they start running here and there. They don't care for your love. Is it one-sided or is it both-sided? Very good question. If you go into the Rasa Shastra, it mentions that there is something called alambana. Alambana is the basis foundation, which is basically the heart of somebody, from devotee, where love, prema, resides. That alambana has two aspects, udipana and the adhar, or vishaya and ashraya. In order to experience love, the object or the person you love has to be there to inflame your heart, but also that love has to be there in the heart. It's very obvious. In order to feel some experience, there has to be a relationship. And for a relationship to exist, there has to be a subject and an object. Like that. So in this way, Krishna's qualities are there, his qualities, but unless there is love in the heart, it will not give that inflaming of love. Right? If there is no love in the heart, no matter how much Krishna comes in front of you, it will not be inflamed. It can be inflamed maybe like Duryodhana. When Duryodhana saw Krishna, he was angry. Right? There's another inflamement. There's another love. Kansa saw Krishna also. There was no inflamement. Inflamement is udipana. Right? Udipana, like a deep. It flames up like that. So there has to be real love in the heart. Now the question comes, can there be a loving heart without an object? That's your question actually. Can there be love in the heart without an object? There is, definitely. That's actually our sampradaya, our path. If the object is not visible, intense longing, viraha, comes up in the heart. And that love, then Krishna actually submits to that. Srimati Radharani's love without seeing object, Krishna, creates intense hankering. And in that hankering, there is more experience of Krishna than being physically with Krishna. Why are you asking this? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't allow Ramananda Rai to ask that far. And you asked the question. So it means that even on the Radhastami day, there are devotees who have properly read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because this was the question, the final question, when Ramananda Rai was speaking to him. Mahaprabhu stood up and closed his mouth. No more. Because then his identity is revealed, right? He is Radharani, hankering for the object, Krishna, to appear. So when he's not there, then see what is the status of affair of a lover who looks for his beloved. Okay? Who looks for his beloved. What is the state of affair? Jadi Gaurana hoito, tabe ki hoito. Kemone dharitam de, radharo mohima preme rasosima jatate janataki. Right? So that's the answer to your question, I hope. Or you want more? Okay. So we end here. There will be a nice celebration with cake and everything. And there is also, I think, Gaura Arti now.
No, we have a small performance.
A performance also?
Cultural. Yes.
Thank you. Jai Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, beautifully done. His Grace Anupam Krsna Prabhu ki Jai. Prabhuji has really brought Vrindavan here. He is a servant of Srimati Radharani, a very, very, very favorite servant, because he spent a big part of his